You are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. And it is time for Streaming Verse with Nina and Chris. I would be Chris. I am the one who is speaking. And we have a guest tonight. Matt is in the studio because we are going to be unpacking some deep, heavy topics. So we needed help with lifting those weights.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
And you're the enthusiast on this topic.
Yes.
So we've been not in the studio live for a couple weeks, so we're kind of getting our bearings straight right now and having some technical issues. Plus, like, who remembers exactly how you're supposed to set up for a radio show that you've been doing for almost 4 years now?
That is crazy.
We don't know. We have no idea.
Wow, that is an extreme close-up going on.
I know. Woo!
All right.
All right, there you go. All right, so what we want to know first is what everyone has been streaming, and you can let us know if you head over to YouTube Live, look for the Harper Radio channel, and let us know what you have been streaming, because we would love to know and chat with you about it. Matt, what have you been streaming?
Well, I say honestly, I haven't been watching a lot of TV lately. I've been watching a lot of movies. It's kind of been like almost like a blockbuster summer.
Okay.
I think so, at least. Naked Gun, just saw that. Do you guys, are you a fan of?
Not yet, but I've heard there's a Buffy joke, so now I have to see it.
There's a long Buffy joke.
Yes.
It's been out for a while about how Pamela Anderson cleared out his TiVo, which had original episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, there's that. It's funny. Because I like kind of a classic comedy. It has like lots of gags, lots of just like visual humor. There's lots of stuff like in the background, going on in the background, they have like a freezer that says cold cases, like stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Police officers caught in hot water, and it's them like in a hot tub on the cover of it. It's like stuff like that. So
I've also heard that because it's Liam Neeson and everyone's used to him being serious, that it's even more funny.
Yeah, no, he has really good comedic chops for this, which is, I think it's kind of in the same vein as like Leslie Nielsen, who was also kind of like a more serious actor who kind of got roped into doing more comedy because he had such a good, like, he was a good straight man for like, for everything came out of him that was like, it was very dry.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's a good trade-off. They made an O.J. Simpson joke, which I think if you saw the trailer, you're that's when everyone like laughs, together. But yeah, Naked Gun was awesome. Superman, new one came out, saw that. Also really
wow,
good.
Look at you.
Yeah, I saw that at a drive-in theater.
Yeah, that's not
So
streaming.
did my brother.
Yeah. Really?
McHenry?
No.
Oh.
Door County.
Okay, never mind.
So that's where you were? You went up Door County?
Yes,
I
Door
just
County.
had some friends up there, too.
Yeah. I did, however, last night stream with my mom, North by Northwest.
Ooh, nice.
I've never seen it before, and I really enjoyed it.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Very good. Very suspenseful.
It's good.
Very hard to map out.
Yeah.
What's it called when you map out your scenes, Nina?
Script supervising?
No, but when you physically do it, when you're storyboard, storyboard.
Yeah.
I was like drawing.
So my intro to film class, that was one of the ones that he showed us the example of, and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Besides that, TV Evil, as always, still on that.
Yeah.
Hope to do a part 3 or part 2 we did on talking about Evil.
Yes, we did too.
And then, as always, Golden Girls. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Nina, what have you been streaming?
I have been streaming The Studio with,
Seth Rogen?
thank you. I was going to say Catherine Hahn because she's a woman and that's all I know. It is really good. I found myself, like, it's not like a laugh out loud show, but I was like internally laughing. My mom, I don't think, cared for it because she was just kind of sitting there. It's really made for film students, I feel like, because like there's, I think it's episode 2 or 3. It's called The Oneer, and The Oneer is like, one shot, and it is so funny because they're trying to get this one shot, and the whole episode is shot as a oneer. So it's so
funny.
fascinating because the first couple minutes went by and I was like, are they doing a oneer? And then they did, and my mom was just kind of like,
okay.
Okay. Albeit I didn't explain what was going on at all, though, so it was probably on me. I thought it was so fun. It's totally for film nerds. But it's really cool because, like, they were sitting in front of the monitor and they were, like, using terminology. I'm like, oh, my God, I know what that is. And then, like, the script supervisor was right there. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's the script supervisor. Yeah, and Catherine Hahn is hilarious in it. Josh Groban, his character, I don't know his name. He is so terrible at his job. Like, his character.
His character.
His character in this show. He is so terrible. Like, to the point where I'm like, oh, my God, this is a part of your job. Do it. Like, what is wrong with you? But it is so good so far. I think I'm on episode 6.
Nice.
And that's on Apple TV+. What have you been streaming, Chris?
Well, we streamed something.
Yeah,
it
we
counts.
did.
We
It does.
streamed it.
Oh, it does.
It literally counts. Plus, it's like a new, I don't know how new the platform is, so let me get into what we streamed. We finally streamed the director's cut of Midsummer,
Oh, wow.
which was worth it. Was
Yeah.
worth everything we went through to find it, to get it.
No, literally, to set it up.
Yeah, to set it up. Oh, yeah, everything was interesting. So A24 now has its own platform. So it has its own app, its own membership. So for like $9.99 a month, you get a free movie ticket to one of their opening movies. The weekend it opens at certain theaters like AMC and the Alamo theaters.
Yeah.
And I purchased the director's cut of Midsummer, and they're like, "Oh, congratulations on your purchase. We're shipping it to you, and while you wait, here it is streaming."
Which was
So,
perfect.
Yeah, so we streamed it, and I have both on there now too, both the director's cut and the original.
So what's different in like the director's cut compared to the theatrical release?
So I will say this isn't really giving. I'm not going to give away any spoilers for people who haven't seen it. But the biggest difference is when I watched the original, there's so much stuff cut off that all these people just start showing up, and I'm like, what happened to them? So there's all these couples coming from different areas. Where do they go? Sweden or
Sweden, I think.
Yeah.
Sweden, yeah. So they all go to Sweden. So they're from, like, we have people from America, people from England. Well, they meet these English people in Sweden. Well, then the English people disappear for 45 minutes. Then all of a sudden things start happening, and they're like, "Where's Simon?" And I'm like, "Who's Simon?" "Oh yeah, the English people, because we haven't seen them for." So you see them in the director's cut. You see, so the story makes more sense. It's gruesome, but it makes more sense.
So it's even more gruesome than it originally was.
There's more scenes in
Really?
it that are more
Okay.
gruesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen the original?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I can fill you in after. I just don't want to give away too many
Yeah.
spoilers in case anyone hasn't seen it, because it's not as bad, though. Both Nina and I agree. It's not as bad as what people think. Like, I think people think it's unimaginable what
No,
happens.
literally. My brother, like, watched it once and, like, refused to ever watch it again. I remember the night he watched it, he came in my room, and albeit I think he was in high school at this point. I think I was in high school, too, so.
Yeah.
We were a bit younger, but he came into my room, explained the entire storyline to me, which I promptly forgot. So when I watched it
You're like,
again, I
"Oh."
was like, "Oh, this is new." And he was traumatized. I just remember, like, he was like literally sitting there shaking, and he's like, "I will never watch this again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never again."
And it just might be some of the aspects of it, but it really was. I didn't think. Did you think it was that? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a horror film. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say that it was like light on the horror, because it was not light at all.
I always feel that, to me, it's like if you walk out of a horror film and you say that wasn't scary, to me that's like walking out of a comedy and saying that wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's good if it scared you. That's supposed to, it
Right.
did what it's supposed
Yeah.
to. I didn't think it didn't terrify me that badly,
No.
but it was, I mean, when I first watched it, I was at the University Center in,
Oh my God.
in Chicago, and it was just like a room full of people, like on like the, it was like a what do you call those, like
Screening?
Yeah, it was like a screening, and so we were just watching it like on someone's DVD, and at all the right parts, everyone goes, "Oh,"
Right.
because it is pretty gruesome. And there's parts where I had to kind of go, "Ooh," but it didn't make me feel like, I thought actually Hereditary was a lot more.
Oh, I've heard. I haven't
Unpleasant to
seen
I
watch.
haven't
that.
seen that yet, but I need to. That's my next one.
There's a scene in
Yeah.
particular that is that my friends at the time actually had to stop watching it, and they said, "We need you to watch it with us." And so I said, "Okay, can't be that bad." And it's
It was bad.
it's worse, I'd say. Yeah, yeah.
I watched 127 Hours.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
Just so
Yeah.
fun. Exactly. No, exactly. That's a true story, and it's so much worse because you know what happened. So I'm giving this one away. Too bad if you haven't seen the movie because it's a true story. It took me 3 takes to watch him cut off his arm because I knew it was true,
They
and I was
really
just like,
show like at least a
they show
something?
yes, they show
Wow.
it.
No, it's his real arm that he's slicing off.
He's a commitment
But I
to the
just
bit.
couldn't get behind. I was like, no. All right, stop it. Okay.
Yeah.
When I would come back like a day later, I'd watch 5 more minutes because I don't know if it was 5 minutes, but it was a long scene. It wasn't just
127 hours. is what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the scene for cutting it though, I bet they make it seem as long as it was in real life in terms of
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing to decide to do, to cut off
To
your
get,
own arm
and to get through with.
and to
like-
get through all
like,
that,
yeah.
the bone and so
I don't like that.
that was
I don't
worse.
like that.
Yeah, Erin said Hereditary was worse than Midsommar.
I agree.
Okay,
She also, wow, she's been, oh, well, I guess it's been a week.
she's also on vacation.
That's it. Erin has been streaming Happy Gilmore 2, known as Resident Playbook, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Resident Playbook is a K-drama on Netflix. All right. I have seen none of those.
I have bad news.
Uh-oh.
It's official. Resident Alien has been canceled.
No!
This is its last
Oh.
season. I'm so upset.
I'm so sorry.
Dang.
And I still have last week's episode to watch. So I have it on streaming, not live. So I'm already a week behind from whatever's been broadcast. So, but I decided not to watch last week's because I'm going to watch the last 2 episodes at the same
Aw.
time
That's
and
valid.
cry.
That's real.
It's real.
And that was like a sci-fi original, right?
It wasn't originally sci-fi. Originally, it was Peacock. Was it just regular?
I think it was Peacock.
It was something else. And no, maybe yes. Sorry, it was sci-fi. They showed it on Peacock, but now it's officially on USA, which is why it's delayed a week for me.
It's on Netflix, right?
No, yes. Now
Yeah.
the first 2 seasons, but not the current season.
Gotcha.
Correct. You are correct. For
All right.
300. Next category.
Next category, I think it's time we take a little break.
That sounds awesome. Can you play stuff because I'm exhausted?
Real.
You're listening to Streaming Verse here on WHCM. Stay tuned. After this break, we'll be back with a fun topic.
Hey, you're listening to WHCM.
Is that your radio voice?
It is now
You gotta work on your country accent.
WHCM.
That's a little better, actually. That's a little better.
If you're looking for a pet, please consider adoption. Second City Canine Rescue right here in Palatine, Illinois is committed to rescuing homeless animals and placing them into permanent, loving homes. Largely volunteer operated, Second City Canine believes in rescuing responsibly. All breeds, ages, sizes, and colors are welcomed and loved. For adoption or volunteering information, reach out to Second City Canine Rescue at sscrescue.org.
Flip it over and crank it up with the B-side on WHCN. Well, let her rip. From 12 to 1 every Thursday, you'll hear tunes that don't get enough airtime. Album cuts, lesser-known artists, novelty records, and recommendations. Listen to The B-side with Matt Byrne, Thursdays 12 to 1. The B-side, only on WHCM 88.3, Harper Radio. Radio done differently.
Boy, is he nuts.
And what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Ben DeUtrek, and you are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, where new and old favorites await.
What?
I'm sorry, I had the camera on you when you did
Thanks.
that. I didn't mean to. I didn't know you were doing that.
I'm like,
but it was really funny.
Let's move this.
Yeah. I mean, it works. We're like sitting on top of the tables to be into the microphone right now.
Yes. Yeah. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, and we're trying to manage through them. It always happens. Like we've been doing this almost 4 years, and we take off a week, and it's like, what's a radio station?
No, literally.
How are you supposed to do
What's the
this again?
station ID? I don't remember.
Yeah. And by the way, you are listening to WHCM, and this is Streaming Verse with Nina and Chris, and the board master Caroline, and our guest Matt.
Hello.
Moto Matt, officially.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to be here. No longer Moto. Google Pixel.
Yeah, but your
But
nickname
Pixel Boy
stuck.
doesn't work
Pixel
as
Boy.
well.
I like
Pixel
that
Boys,
one.
no.
Pixel Boy.
Because there's grown adults who still have the same nickname they had when they were in grade school. And I'm sorry, but that's going to apply to you forever.
Oh, man.
I am going to run into you in 10 years. Moto Matt! And
Yeah.
you're going to be like, I've switched to iPhone. Doesn't matter!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
Hey, we got Aaron to come to the dark side.
Yeah.
Aaron,
We
who's
did.
often a guest on the show, has come to the Mac world, and she now has an iPhone.
That won't be me, unless I get like a good sponsorship.
Oh, there you
Then
go.
I'll
There you
consider
go.
You never know. You
Yeah.
might. You could
No.
be at a point in your life where that happens.
Yeah.
Quick reminder before we dive into the topic, the thoughts and ideas presented on this show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. I was right. I just got confused. All right, topic time. Would you like to explain the topic?
Sure. So, I thought it would be a fun idea to talk about what's been happening in the news. I'd say, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Is when it happened? When Stephen Colbert was given his official walking papers that won't take place until May of 2026. As the host of the late night show. Now, not only are they letting him go, they are ending the late night show. It will no longer exist. There's two trains of thoughts on this. I believe both can be correct. We'll see how you two feel about these. Because right now, Paramount, who is the parent company of CBS, is trying to buy, what is it they're trying to buy? Like another Sky something?
Skydance.
Skydance
Is it
sounds right. Skydance sounds right. Yeah, they're trying to buy another network, and they need the FCC's approval, which means Trump's approval. So therefore, getting rid of the person who often insults Trump wouldn't be a bad idea for Paramount. Now, is that why they fired him? Could be, maybe not. But does it make their lives easier? Yes. But on the other side of it, late night has been losing money for decades. All of them. All of these late night talk shows have been losing money. Even though Stephen Colbert with the Late Night Show is the top host, he gets the most ratings out of all of them, they're still losing like millions of dollars, I think, a year for these shows. So it's a really interesting dynamic that's happening and how people are responding to it. And so we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
And who wants to go first? Samantha B could go first.
Samantha B?
You know who Samantha B is?
Does she I will say I'm like a late night talk junkie person. I used to watch, like, I'd say for me that kind of like a little bit of a heyday was right before COVID. Because I used to watch a bunch. And when I say heyday, I mean like in my lifetime. I know, of course, in like the 90s, early 2000s, a lot more options. But Conan, Daily Show. I even went from the Colbert Report to the Nightly Show to Samantha Bee had her own thing for a while on TBS, which I did watch. That it was a lot of that political, like Jon Stewart influence type stuff.
Yeah, because she was originally like from the Daily Show.
Yes.
Yeah, her and her husband.
And so many like alumni from, I don't know how many people know how many like alumni came from Daily Show. John Oliver, Steve Carell, Steve Colbert, Jessica Williams, just name a few.
And there's other people, I don't know their names, but if I saw them, you'd go, that's one of them. There's so many. There are so
Ed
many.
Helms as well.
Really?
Oh, that would make sense, even if he was just a writer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what Samantha B says. Of course, the headlines is like, Samantha B believes he should have been fired. This is how it starts. She said that the show was losing $40 million a year, and the show's parent company is trying to curry favor with the president over the merger. I think both things are true, B said. It definitely was hemorrhaging money. These legacy shows are hemorrhaging money with no real, don't hit that, end to that in sight. People are just not tuning in. It is also true that when the President of the United States has to sign off on the corporate merger, the thing you can't do is make jokes about him. He is a thin-skinned idiot, and we all know he's like a something cancer, which I can't read. Pernicious. Pernicious?
Oh.
Is that the right word? Pernicious cancer, and he cares about that stuff, she added.
That's true.
Yes.
There's like so many thoughts.
Oh, what's the
Take it
first
away.
one?
That's really interesting. Because, the biggest thing I think people immediately brought up was that I want to say it was like less than a week before Colbert got fired. He publicly criticized them, and the statement was that he called the payment that Paramount made a big fat bribe was the phrase he used.
Yeah.
And I believe it was like not only a couple days later did he get
Yep.
fired. So it's one of those things like, is it a coincidence? I personally don't think so. Is it possible?
Yeah.
But
I think the timing points to that. But it doesn't mean that they have been going for months going, what are we going to do? We can't fire the guy who's the highest rated guy. But then they went, yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can. Do you know what the payout was for? Do you know why they paid Trump the money?
it was for the CBS 60 Minutes.
Right, the 60-minute thing and the editing, which they do all the time with because they played one clip on the promo. You know about this?
Yeah.
They played one clip on the promo, and then they played another clip for the actual broadcasting of the show. And he said basically they were accused of lying or manipulating it somehow.
An interview, by the way, that he denied actually doing. I watched the 60 Minutes interview when it first aired.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So it was with Kamala Harris. Right. And so they paid him even though they technically did nothing wrong, just to make it stop because they want this merger to go through.
Of course. Yeah. I actually have the direct quote. Actually, never mind. That's not the direct quote. About the interview with Kamala and the big fat bribe. Cheeks, who is someone in charge. Okay. I don't know who he is. They questioned him in this Deadline article about the timing of it, and he said that it was, quote, down to the timing of contracts for crew, including writers and producers, which, if the show ends in May, like the season run through time, it doesn't make sense why this would happen now. I don't think it wasn't like a coincidence. It's just like, especially because Colbert is so open with his views and very, how do I put this, a supporter of free speech. I think that that's an issue with some people, unfortunately. And yeah, I totally, I mean, I also do, like, the statistics point towards, like, late night shows aren't doing as well, which makes sense because, like, I don't know anyone who watches late night shows on the regular unless they're, like, reruns or, like, clips on YouTube, because I'll go back and watch, like, the monologues or whatever, but I don't sit down every night and watch
as a nightly thing,
like, routine. Like, the only thing I kind of do that with is SNL, and that's Saturday nights, and, like, I fall asleep watching that.
One show a week.
Exactly.
One show a week, which is partially the difference. I'd like to say something before we go further. First, I want to say you're listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. This is Streaming Verse with Nina, Chris, Caroline, and Matt. we are talking about late night TV in general. So I kind of wanted to share this background and I just want to thrust this into the conversation. So, like, the roots of late night are Steve Allen, and it kind of came from, like, what Jack Benny used to do on the radio, which was more of a variety show with you'd have skits and artists and the monologue, right?
Yeah.
And then Steve Allen. Then we had Johnny Carson, who made late night what it is. So I think when we think about this, we're also thinking this is the end of an era of what is about to happen. And then several other, like, David Letterman changed it.
Yeah.
David Letterman is the one who let well, Johnny Carson's the grandfather of this, and what he did, he wants me to joke about toilet paper, and people got scared that it was real, and there was a scarcity on toilet paper then. Not the same as during the pandemic, but just a joke that Johnny Carson made because everyone watched the Johnny Carson show. But if we look at this, they're all white men. Late night is all white men.
Yep.
This is like the same thing. Like Samantha Bee couldn't keep up with the late night show. They tried it on TBS where Conan also had some issues. Maybe it was the red hair. So maybe we just want to say all white men with dark hair. Maybe we want to put it that way. But it's like this is a dying institution that they've refused to evolve to include the views, thoughts, opinions, and looks of other people.
Yeah.
So were they asking for this? Controversy.
No, that's really good because I read an article about the male, but that was before Colbert was booted out. I think it was like a morning show, maybe. Do you remember Lily?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
That would be yes.
Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you, Lily Singh. They put her in charge of some talk show for a hot second, and to my knowledge, it did not go well.
She went from YouTube
Yes.
to late
gotcha.
night, which is a huge
Well, yes.
jump.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
And albeit she's a bad example because like I used to watch her when I was like 5 and was like, oh my god, she's so funny, and then I watched her when I was like 8 and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. But then again, that's like the only example I can think of, and that's sad.
I hope people don't forget Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
She had After Midnight, which she chose to end that, as far as I know, on good terms.
Yeah.
She wanted to continue doing her stand-up tour.
Right.
Yeah.
I got into that show. I'd say the last year or so. It was actually when we were on a trip to New York.
Oh, really?
WHCM, and me and Richie would just stay up late. And I was like, oh, this show's kind of good, actually. So we'd like watch After Midnight. I think she honestly, to my personal opinion, I think she's probably one of the most successful in terms of like being a female host of a late. When I say late night, it's like late it's after midnight.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think she's probably, in my opinion, the most successful in terms of not being canceled, having pretty good ratings, going on to do bigger and better. She's actually, it was kind of like almost like a blip on her radar. I asked my sister, who was a fan of hers, she didn't even know she had a talk show.
Yeah.
Right.
And she knew her for her stand-up only.
And that's just it. It's like, but why? And I'm not saying I'm just going to mention things that used to happen. So it used to be in the late night shows, if you were on the Carson show, you couldn't go on someone else's show. And so did she feel some of that maybe? Did she feel like she was never going to really break it any further than she was because of some other reasons? I'm not saying that's true. I'm just pondering because, I mean, we're looking at the major networks. They all feel like they're the talk show. They're the late night talk show. But yet they've all been losing money. And like you mentioned about seeing other faces and stuff, it's about advertising. And we don't watch every night anymore. We have so much things we can stream that you'd rather binge the new, like Wednesday just came out. I'd rather watch that than stop to watch a show that's on 5 nights a week. I don't want to do that. One of the things I do watch, and of course he's also a white man with dark hair, is
we're everywhere.
last week with John Oliver,
Yeah,
which I love.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best examples of a talk show right now that's just like it gets to everybody, and because they put full episodes on YouTube.
And I think that's it.
Yep.
They evolved. They took the late night format, got rid of the we need to have a singer, a comedian.
Yeah.
They got rid of all that. Oh, we need to have a gimmick, like the karaoke one.
Carpool
karaoke.
Carpool karaoke.
Oh.
I was like,
Yeah.
that one.
I was thinking of Kelly Clarkson.
But no, they got rid. Like, there's no gimmicky stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I get that those things are important, but that's maybe your TikTok to get people to watch your actual show.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what I mean? That's the TikTok that you put out so that people will tune in. And like you said, John Oliver, everything's on YouTube. They put it out there so people come to it. And I think
really accessible.
late night dropped the ball on all that.
I feel like whoever's in charge of these shows, I don't know if it's the writers or probably, the CEOs and the higher ups, but they just like are stuck in that mindset that is literally
Executives.
executives, and let's keep making all these people men and like fit this mold, and like the Kelly Clarkson has her own show in the afternoons, but she starts every show covering someone's song, and it's awesome because she's obviously a very talented singer. But like even stuff like that, like have I seen the rest of her show? I've seen a couple clips of like people I like on the show, but like I've never actually sat down and watched the full thing. But the she calls it karaoke, like karaoke, but that's all on YouTube and TikTok. And then she released an album or an EP of some of the songs that she covered on TV. And so it's just like the small things, like just make some changes or make it more fun. Like even Jimmy Fallon, I think, I'd watch all the time when I was younger on YouTube because he'd do like the fun games with celebrities. And now watching them, I'm like, you're a little too much, dude. But still, like sitting on a couch talking to someone, I can listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Right.
And now that there's so much more like stuff to watch, so much more things that are accessible for everyone, it's just like nobody wants to sit there and listen to a podcast.
Right.
When they
you
could
would
be
listen,
right.
You'd
Like,
listen to a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
And that's just it. That's, we're getting my news. I listen to the Daily almost every single day, so I'm getting an update on the news. I don't need to listen to, a late night talk show host. And again, I think it's a commitment. It's a commitment that I don't want to make.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to deal with fast forwarding, to be really honest. Like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
having to fast forward. And I don't mean through commercials. I mean through, I don't care about this comedian. I don't care about this. I don't care about what is the one that Jimmy Fallon does, the cards, when he writes the weird greeting cards that I don't.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
cute, whatever. But I'm bored. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Do we think that late night is going to go extinct? Like late night talk shows?
I'm hoping it evolves.
I
To be
think
fair. I mean, to be honest about it.
I think it has to, or it's gonna go away.
Or it will, yeah.
Yeah.
But what does that evolution look like?
I think it looks kind of like what John Oliver's doing, because I mean, can you be late night if you're? I've always wondered that. Can you be late night if you are streaming 24 hours a day? Like if you can be accessed at any time?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
To me, you have to air after 9 p.m. You have to be on TV, but then again, make sure that you are being accessible to people. Even like Jon Stewart. I think Jon Stewart puts most of his monologue on YouTube as well, and both those are also more political shows, and that may not cater to everyone. That caters to me. I watch ever since Jon Stewart came back to the Daily Show. I've been watching every single Monday when he's on.
I was gonna say, but that's one day a week, so you're not watching the show. You're watching Jon Stewart.
That's a good because he does has the guest host who's one of the. One of his
go with like
correspondents.
3 of them.
They're all funny, but I'm also like, I came here to hear Jon Stewart.
Exactly.
They're all really funny. Actually, Desi and Ronnie Chang are very good hosts.
Yeah, they're good, and when I see their stuff, I always forget about that show for some reason. But I think it's because I just have blocked like like, because I used to watch his show, because I'd watch, what's the name of the show again?
Daily Show?
The Daily Show,
Yeah.
and then I'd watch the Colbert Report, right? That was my thing. So now I've just stopped all that.
Oh.
You know, but I was watching it for a while, because I have Paramount, you know, Plus, so of course I was watching it, but then I forget. It's like, oh yeah, but I never forget to watch Don Oliver, though. I love Don
Because
Oliver.
you know what's it's like with the Daily Show, they are still operating on that kind of older template, which is here's your monologue break, here's a guest break, and then
Yeah,
on some episodes
it could be it.
they still have like a musical guest. Like John Oliver is just like a straight up hit of here's everything, like
Right.
It's
It's almost, it's almost a broadcast news,
yeah,
but with humor.
yeah. The level of research is impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I liked it when they did a new baseball team. Did you see the thing about they took a on the last week's night with John Oliver, they decided that most of the name of the those, God, what are like the boomers
Minor
called?
league?
Minor league.
Yeah.
The minor league teams are horrible. They're like, these names are horrible. They make no sense.
Yeah.
Make no sense.
I mean, accurate.
So we took one. They picked one of everyone who submitted, found what was unique about their area, and then the Moon Mammoths is what they changed the name to because this guy named Moon discovered like the bones of like this prehistoric mammoth in this
Oh my
town.
God, okay.
So they don't have to keep the name, but they sold all their merch like
I'm sure.
within a couple days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing about that's like the evolution. I think he's it's like a lot of like audience engagement. There was a whole thing with Drumpf, those Drumpf hats. Remember
Yes.
that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's even done thing about people like to vote for the bird, vote for like. Was it in Australia? Or maybe it was New Zealand. Like to vote for the national bird. He got everyone. I voted. I voted for the national bird. I'm like, yeah, because it didn't matter where you were from. I'm like, okay, yep, the crazy bird. Let's go, and it won.
Oh my God.
And so it got you involved. It got seems like a lot of people involved.
Right.
I think that's the impressive thing about what some late night has been able to do and what some has not been able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And and if you, like the Monday after the John Oliver show, if you watch it in time, I don't watch it when it comes out Sunday. Typically I watch it the next day or that week. But if you just start the Google John, like I don't know, like Moon, it would say mammoths, John, like it'll go into everything because it's like that much of people search him and people are on it.
Yeah.
Like that Google automatically populates. That's what I'm trying to say. Google populates exactly what I'm looking for.
Wow. Do we have time? I want to mention something.
You are more than welcome to.
So as far as like Paramount goes, just in my opinion, I don't even think Stephen Colbert is the most critical or crazy person of any, political or president figure compared to Jon Stewart.
Yes.
Compared to South Park. I don't know if you've been
Mm-hmm.
reading what
Oh, yeah.
featuring our beloved president in bed with Satan.
Yes.
And, canoodling with him and everything, which is just hilarious. And I don't know. It just makes me wonder why Stephen Colbert? Was it just because it was the easiest one? Because it would affect the most people? Because he seems to be the most like popular in terms of like Jon Stewart's obviously more political. South Park is a lot more. There's a certain type of South Park crowd, but Colbert is kind of like everyman sort of guy.
I think it's a lot because Colbert is the one who, for when it was both the Colbert Report and I think his late night talk show for both elections where Trump won. He was the one, like I remember he was in disbelief on the first election, but he purposely had his show to go, okay, Trump's gonna lose and Hillary's gonna win. And he was defeated. So, and John Stewart,
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd already taken time off.
So actually,
at that point.
That's actually right around the time that Jon Stewart left.
Right.
Jon Stewart left The Daily Show, I believe it was in 2015, if I remember correctly, because he wanted the next host to have like for whatever to use the presidential race, whoever was running had no idea it was going to start running, just to be like, here's a good start for you, and that was Trevor Noah for the longest time.
Yeah.
Until Trevor Noah disappeared, and then they had a bunch of random guest hosts, and then Jon Stewart finally came back. Which I think broke. It was like one of the when he came back last year. It broke like a cable record.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I watched it for a few months after he first came back until I forgot. I forgot he existed.
Yeah, they're off every other week or so. So it's kind of like I tune in and I'm like, oh, is it on the night? Okay, it's not on the night.
Right.
Not on this week.
Do you have any thoughts on any of that?
I
My brain just went blank, so I'm not even asking the question the right way.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, but I don't think Trump knows what South Park is. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I don't see one of his guys going, hey, Rubio going, hey, dude, you know what they did to you on South Park? I just don't him being able to like absorb all that.
No.
So I don't think it's as prominent. I think when the next election doesn't happen, it'll matter. Then all this stuff will disappear, yes.
I think, too, when there's, like, an individual talking directly to the screen rather than, like, animated paper, because, yeah, I think the first thing to go, like, logically would be South Park, because, my God, they say a lot of things.
They just destroyed him, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, and not even just that, but they're all over the place. Like, they can't pick a side. They're, like, on everything.
Yeah.
And oftentimes very offensive. But I feel like that is harder for some people to grasp than like someone addressing you on the television, talking directly to you, saying these things about the president.
It's he can put a name to.
Right.
He can point at someone and go, "They're the problem."
Right.
If I shut them up,
which he
I'll
loves
fix
doing.
the problem, which it won't. But
you don't often hear him talking about Jon Stewart, though, who is probably one of his biggest television critics, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Maybe he's next.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I hope not. I really do.
I mean, I don't mean next that will lose his job. I mean next that he'll start talking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, once that Colbert has been quote unquote squashed in his mind. But Colbert could end up somewhere else being more effective.
He probably will.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Like, it doesn't mean he's over. It means he's not going to have that show anymore.
Leaving late night, I know he's not leaving, but is probably the best thing that happened to him because he's going to be the first. So when the late night empire falls, he's going to already be established somewhere else.
Exactly.
Probably somewhere more accessible to the general public.
Right. Exactly.
That was like with Conan. Like Conan's having like some of the biggest resurgence in his whole career.
Yes.
And it's a couple years after his show ended. I believe it was during COVID that his show ended, and then he did the podcast. Then he did Conan O'Brien Must Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the Hot Ones thing, and then he did the Oscars. He's just having a big year.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So it's just it's a pivot. It's a pivot that's hard. Even though we're not watching it, I still feel like this is the end of something important.
Right.
This is the end of like something huge. Because what is it? And when I was doing my research, if you ask people who Johnny Carson is, most people have heard of him.
Yeah.
They may not know who he is or whatever. But if you ask someone about the Ed Sullivan Show, do people know who Ed Sullivan is, per se? Do you know who Ed Sullivan is?
I know, yeah.
You know the name. Okay, I didn't know. I was just checking.
But I don't know the show.
Right, you don't know his show. Like, he brought the Beatles to America.
yeah,
It was huge.
Oh, this guy.
he looks kind of like Nixon.
That's why I know it.
But that's exactly my point, is that late night is, and Johnny Carson is like topic, like people know it. Ed Sullivan's like, oh yeah, what about? And he was huge, but now it's gone. You know, he had his moment.
Yeah, late night, I think,
It was different.
is still considered to be like American entertainment, like in a nutshell.
Right.
Like it's the epitome of like everyone gather around. It's TV time.
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m.
Yep.
You know, which has gone away in the last 6 or 7 years or so. I think around COVID it started to.
COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
For good or for bad, it changed everything. I would agree it's COVID because we started working from home because, you know, we couldn't go out or you didn't have a job like some of us. And therefore, your timetable was different. So there was no schedule of I do this then. So once that schedule got thrown out, even if you did go back in the office, you've already gone, no, we're binging this show tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus, watching that because I'm listening to this on my drive into the office, with all the podcasts and everything.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. It's going to be interesting to see what ends up coming out of all of this.
Yeah.
And how long the other ones stay on the air.
Yeah.
I believe, as someone who's been to I feel like, and you guys probably have to, Rockefeller Center, and
Yeah.
seen the
We
line
were
to
all
get
in New
into.
York together.
Yeah, but I think last time we were there, we saw we were in the Rockefeller gift shop area, which is also the line to get
Yeah.
into Jimmy Fallon's show, and the line.
Right.
To get in there. So I think there's still an interest to go, let's go
yeah.
see the talk show.
Right.
Let's go, maybe not watch it live, or not when it airs at its regular time slot. But I think there's still a desire to go to a show and do that. I think there's still a desire by writers to write these shows. There's still, it's still, I think for many comedians, considered to be the pinnacle. I had my own late night show. That's still, I think that's still you've reached your peak.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah.
So I think there's still there's still on all sides a want for it. So therefore, I think it'll still exist in some form. I really do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I agree. I like I said, I've already kind of said what I think of it. It's it just needs to be a different format. It needs to be, even if it's one night a week. I love John Oliver one night a week.
Yeah.
It's it's not a commitment. I can see other people. I'm happy.
It's so weird. I may have got my hands on some legal or not so legal copies of the old Conan shows because you can't find them anywhere.
Oh, okay.
You can't find them anywhere.
Really? That's interesting.
And so I found them.
Nice.
I
Good
found
for
them
you.
in some
Yeah.
way. But watching them, I used to watch Conan every single night. That was my thing every single night in starting in elementary school, going to high school. So it just watching it recently, I realized, wow, this is old. This feels old.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's the whole thing of everybody. I got a show for you tonight, and we have a performance by this person, 2 guests, and it just this doesn't happen anymore. This hasn't happened for so long,
Right.
And that's crazy because it didn't feel old at the time. It didn't feel like this old format. It was new and it was fun, and it's crazy to think that the late night talk show format is now archaic.
Yes. It really is. It really is. And they didn't change it because they thought, hey, we've got this. Let's keep running
COVID
with it.
will never happen. We're going to keep on smooth sailing forever.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it. This was
Appreciate it.
fun.
This was a lot of fun.
I needed to talk about this. Really, I guess it's so many things in one event.
Yeah.
There's so many things happening. It's really not one thing.
Yeah.
It was probably the driver of the event, the fact that the whole issue with our president, but there were so many other aspects that were involved in this. I think.
It's a lot. It's just a bundle of a bunch of things.
And you know what? Who's to say that Colbert won't have a sort of a bump in his ratings from, hey, he's the controversial guy, let's go.
Apparently he's doing great now. Apparently he's doing his show because nothing's holding him back now.
No,
he can
it's
say whatever he
awesome.
wants.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah, I don't think it won't change the outcome, but I think it might. But it doesn't mean you won't get a new, different thing with the network, though. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think the late night show, it's an excuse. It's like, why are we spending money on this if it's not making us any money?
Yeah.
I mean, that still is very valid at the end of the day.
I will say, if you want to see this kind of thing play out in a television format, latest season of Hacks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it, but Deborah gets her own talk show and kind of unfolds in a similar way that Colbert is unfolding right now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
worth
I'm
watching.
all up on my Hacks.
Oh, you watched the whole?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll talk about that later.
Thank you for listening to Streaming Verse here on WHCM. We will be back next Thursday. You can listen to our show Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Everyone have a great evening. Up next, it's Andy with Mixtape.